Hello, and welcome to another Hearts of Iron 4 modding tutorial. In this video, we will cover how to add a Balance of Power, or BOP, to your nation. A Balance of Power is a relatively new mechanic to the game that represents competing power interests between two factions in a nation. It is on a scale of -1 to +1, where the negative half is the left-handed side of the Balance of Power, and the positive half is the right-handed side. A balance of power is split into different sections, called a range. These ranges give different bonuses or penalties depending on what value the balance of power is currently set to. You can add or remove a balance of power at any time during gameplay. You can also swap out a side at any point to represent a different faction or interest with its own set of bonuses or penalties. Creating a balance of power. To start, create a folder called BOP under your mod's common folder. Then, create a text file for your balance of power. Open the file. Create a block for your balance of power with the balance of power ID as the block name. In this example, it will be MFC, balance of power, as it is for our custom nation. Next, you need to define the initial value of the balance of power. This is the value between -1 and +1 that the balance of power will be at when you first load in our nation. After that, we must declare the default left and right sides of the balance of power. This is done with the IDs of the left and right side blocks. We will add these blocks in a moment. For now, enter left side equals, then the ID you want for the left side. Then repeat this for the right side with right side equals, then the ID. Finally, we need to add a decision category that is for this balance of power. If we do not have a decision category already made, create a decision category for your balance of power and add its ID to the BOP with the line decision category equals, then the ID. This decision category will only appear with the balance of power window and never in the game's decision window. Now, we will create a range block. This range here is the middle range of our balance of power. It remains the same regardless of what the left and right side is. This is optional only if the left and right sides of your balance of power both meet a value of 0. Give the range an ID. In this example, we will call it MFC center range. Next, add a min and maxed value. These values are where the range will be active. In this example, we will put the minimum range as -0.25 and the maximum range as 0.25. Now we can declare what modifiers, if any, will be active when the range is active. To do this, create a modifier block and add your desired modifiers. You can also add an onActivate and an onDeactivate block to the range. This will apply effects as soon as the range becomes the active range or stops being the active range. In this example, the range will add a national spirit when the range is active, and then remove it when it is no longer active. Next, we will create the left and right sides. Outside the range block, but within the balance of power, create a side block and add an ID. This side will be our left side, so we will add the ID for our left side. In this case, MFC left side. Then add an icon. This can be any icon. The icons used in the vanilla game can be found in the file powerbalanceview.gfx under the interface folder. The icons themselves are 77 by 88 pixels in size and located in the gfx/interface/BOP folder. Next, add ranges for the side. As this is the left side range, we must complete the range between -0.25 of our center range and -1. Add the range block and give it an ID and then minimum and maximum values. This first range will go from -0.25 to -0.75. Then we add another range that will go from 0.75 to -1. Ranges always meet each other on the same number. In this case, -0.25 and -0.75. Ranges cannot overlap. As this is the left range, remember that the numbers are negative, meaning that the minimum value will be -1 and the maximum value can be no higher than 0. Next, we will add any modifiers and effects we want. We will repeat this with our right side, only this time the numbers will go from 0 to 1. The ranges on the right side will be 0.25 to 0.75 and 0.75 to 1. Once you have added a balance of power and the ranges, remember to add a localization for each ID you have defined. Viewing the balance of power. Before we can see our balance of power in-game, we need to enable it for our nation. To do this, you could use a Set Power Balance effect block in any location an effect can occur. This effect will enable the balance of power for the currently scoped country. To add a balance of power at game start, add it to your country's history file. In this example, we will add the Set Power Balance block in our nation country's history file with the ID of our balance of power within the block. When we load into the game, we can see our balance of power on our country info window. Updating the balance of power. You can use effects to update the balance of power. In this example, 2 new simple decisions have been added to your balance of power decision category. In the available block, there is a power balance value trigger. This trigger will check to see if the specified balance of power is greater than, less than, or equal to the specified value. If it is, then it returns true. In the complete effect block, there is a add power balance value block. This will add the specified value to the balance of power, moving it further to the left or right. A balance of power is always constrained to a maximum value of 1 and a minimum value of -1. It is also possible to swap out one or both sides of a balance of power with another faction. Here, we have created an alternate left side balance of power. To tell the balance of power to use this side, we can use the Set Power Balance effect. In this example, a new decision has been added to swap our balance of power. In the complete effect, add a Set Power Balance block and add the ID of the balance of power we are updating. Then specify the left side to be the new left side that we want. In the available block, there is a trigger that checks to see if the current balance of power is the already existing left side. This is done with the Is Power Balance Side Active trigger. When we load into the game, we can see our decisions are available. If we click the decision to adjust the value of the balance of power, we can see the balance of power update to reflect the new value. If we click our decision to change the left side to this alternate left side, we can see it update as well. For a full list of effects and triggers relating to the balance of power, please see the Balance of Power page on the Hearts of Iron 4 wiki. That is all for now, and thank you for watching.